Hey, Vanna. I think I need to I need to issue an apology to Jordan, it looks like. Hey, Kim. Rather play World of Warcraft. Hey, Comic Brook. Did I hear about long sleeves? I ordered a hoodie yesterday. See how long it takes to get it. There we go. I also ordered a couple t-shirts. V-neck hoodie? The hell's a V? Is that a thing? Are V-neck hoodies like a thing? Hey, Icky. Hey, Kimberlina. It's not a loading screen, no, it's a title screen. This is the title screen. Hence, continue. New game. Settings. Wearing a C-Beck shirt. What? I don't know what a C-Beck shirt is. Oh, V-neck. You meant V-neck. Hey, JJ. Never heard of this game? Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Habibi. Is this Dark Souls? Well, I know what a V-neck shirt is. It's just like a V-neck hoodie. Anyway, yeah, Kimberlina. I imagine few people have heard of this game. I have been enjoying it. What's the game about? French Revolution. It is about the French Revolution. And love! It is about looking for romance amidst the rise of the French Revolution. Are my loads watery or creamy? Ask your mom. Hey, Jackie. Anyway, is this Dark Souls? I mean, it's like Dark Souls. For the square glass. It's here. Pullover? It's a pullover. Rather kill a dragon. Yeah, the hoodie I ordered, it is a pullover. It is a Spider-Gwen hoodie. Watery or creamy? Not answering. During the Black Plague? No, not the Black Plague. The French Revolution. But yeah, I ordered myself, there's a Spider-Gwen hoodie, a t-shirt that is Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service, and But don't know if I'll make it an unboxing, but what was the third thing I ordered? What was the third t-shirt I ordered? Oh yes, and Jane Doe t-shirt. Hey Jordan! Found a cute Sailor Moon banner? Yay, nice! Hey, thank you for 11 months, JJ. 11 goddamn months. Holy shit. Thank you for 11 months. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jordan. I'm sorry about last night. I took a nap and woke up at like midnight. So, it's almost our 1 year. Indeed. Give me a second. I gotta blow my nose. Give me a second here. Hey, Scrapegoat. Am I attracted to Hunter Schafer? Yeah. Yeah, she's a good looking girl. If I end up with a great hoodie, I blame Vanna and Scrape. I mean, you're gonna blame them for anything anyway. I mean, blame them for everything. Yeah, I mean, Hunter Schafer's a good looking woman. And 12 fucking months. Thank you, Jordan, for a full goddamn year. 1 entire goddamn year, Jordan. Holy shit. Want to see the hoodies? When the hoodie comes in, I'll show it off. Arby's ain't paying what it used to. Why are there so many attractive women in my chat? Do I have a harem now? She's an incredible artist. Oh, is Schaefer an artist? Does Schaefer do art as well? I was unaware. Anniversary. Hey, Jackie. Gotta go. Everyone have a great night. Thanks for stopping in, Jackie. Huh. Apparently she does draw some shit as well. Thoughts on Hunter S. Thompson? Love meat of all ages around here. Dope Fascinator is a great fit phrase. Hey, Color Purple. Is this a fancy-ass game where you eat crumpets and nod politely? Most of that part takes place off camera. It is a game where you gather gossip. So like, you gather gossip, and you also try to get close to certain specific characters who you can romance. Right now, I'm in the midst of romancing an artist for the Queen of France. The favorite artist of Marie Antoinette herself. Sadly, I'm also working to strengthen the... Knock it off, Rebecca. I'm also working to strengthen the revolution itself, so... My lover girl's probably going to get beheaded. Gathering gossip and flirting. Yep. There any better life? Actually, that sounds like a terrible life to me. Honestly, that sounds terrible to me. So much talking to people? Ugh. Yeah. Gross. She died with a good head on her shoulder. Good head on her shoulder and a better one in her book. I'm kidding. Too soon? I want to die giving good head. Good head. That is a good one, Jordan. That was a good one. You have to study? Aw. Almost at 10K subs. I mean, actually, I'm back below 10,000 subs. Where am I at right now? 9,400? Yeah, I was above 10,000. I've lost like 1,500 over the past like 10 months. Yeah, I think I've lost like I've lost like 1,500 subs over the past 8-9 months. Hey, Jerry. I'm fine with it. Like I don't really care that much about my subscriber count. Like I have a full-time job. I have an actual full-time job right now. So YouTube is now a hobby. Welcome back if you got in the hot tub. If their viewership is contingent on the hot tub, then I don't want it. Jacuzzis are really good for attracting subs. Thank you for 11 months, Scapegoat. Monetize your channel? I mean, yeah, I've made like 100 this month for my channel. So yeah, I got like $100 for my channel this week, or this month. So not much, but it's not nothing. All right, let's go pose nude. let's go do the second of our nude posing sessions. We already posed nude for our lady friend once. The painter, Elizabeth, still has work to do on the nude portrait that she's been painting of you. You head over for your second sitting, which is at her personal studio. Velo juice on the table again. Nice pose. Sexy one, probably. You're being drawn like one of those French ladies? I am one of those French ladies! I am one of those French girls. It's another warm, sunny day as you walk to Elizabeth's studio. A fresh breeze off the River Seine prevents the heat from becoming overwhelming. Having been to her studio before, you arrive without any trouble. Just walk in. Remembering Elizabeth's need for discretion, you simply walk inside. The studio is exactly how you remember it, though your portrait's canvas has been covered with a cloth. Entering the room, a startled Elizabeth practically jumps when she sees you. Mon Dieu! I'm sorry, I just didn't hear you come in. She flashes you a smile. Still, I'm glad you took my request seriously. Velo jou. Yay, gained favor with her. Alright, I already have everything I need set up. Let's begin, shall we? I'd appreciate some help getting ready if you have the time. Oh, I thought you'd never ask. Elizabeth replies with a sly smile. She helps you out of your dress and slowly unlaces your stays, hands lingering on you all the while. You're pretty sure it took longer to undress with her help than it would have taken to do by yourself. But that wasn't the point, really, was it? This time she starts with her paints. I was about to say pants. This time she starts with her paints, filling in the colors that define the scene. While you can't see what she's doing, she tells you about the process. Getting the balance of colors is important to making a scene feel authentic, even to an untrained eye. Subtle details like the color of the light reflected off a wall can make all the difference in the world. An hour into the sitting, she laughs. I like how easy it is to talk to you. Much easier than trying to reach out to new patrons. Half of the critics in the city already paint me as a conniving narcissist, and I'd hate to prove any of them right. So instead, I just sit around and wait for work to come to me, even though I know it's unwise. Artists have to keep reaching out for clients or we'll never get anything. She sighs. Yet I'm so out of practice. What if I make a fool of myself? You can imagine posing like that for hours. They didn't even have Discord past them. I know. At this point, I don't even know who would appreciate my work. You're an artist trying to make a living. The bourgeoisie have the money, go to them. That feels sensible, she admits, already considering the idea. What I need right now is clients, and I'd rather have ones that can pay well than ones that can't. Thanks, Yvette. I'll send out letters to some of the business leaders in Paris tomorrow. Ah, shit, I moved the bourgeoisie towards the crown. Whoops. That wasn't what I intended to do. Ah, better the bourgeoisie than the, bourgeoisie is already mostly on the side of the revolution. So, shouldn't make too much of a difference, and better than accidentally getting the military towards the crown. skilled at this game. Thanks, Green 5. Also draw a croissant to make it frotch. To make it frotch. I'm a good reader. I should hope so. Did enough of it as a kid. Didn't really read out loud very much as a kid. But, I mean, you know. The conversation trails off, and you spend the next hour simply posing and watching Elizabeth paint. She seems more relaxed, as if a weight has been lifted from her mind. Alright, my hands are starting to cramp up, so I think we're done for the day. Do you want to see what I've done so far? Actually, I'd rather be surprised by the final product. Huh. Oh, really? Very interesting. Like last time, Elizabeth fetches some pastries and tea. You get the feeling that she does this with all of her clients, but it's nice to have all the same. You chat and joke for a while, which is a lot easier to do now that you don't have to hold perfectly still. With things winding down, you decide it's time to head home. With a wave goodbye to Elizabeth, you take your leave. You'll have to return one last time, so that Elizabeth can finish this portrait. And then maybe I can paint her. With my tongue. The final sitting is now available for you to visit. Until then, you would like to rest. Hey. Ooh. Chère Yvette, would you like to join me on July 8th for a day spent at the Jardin des Plantes? Bisous, Elizabeth. I would. Viscountess Isabella Poitiers requests the attendance to their garden party. Spectacular display of generous. Some more crown gossip. I guess I can use that for money. Painter using a thick gel medium. I'll paint her face with my jizz. Coater and glossy varnish. Alright, so I think I am going to, before I do the final thing, I think I will spend the day recuperating. Huh. Rent and wages. Another party. Duke Pierre Montfort. Company party. Military. Oh, bourgeoisie. Sure. Yeah, you getting all sorts of invitations lately. So yeah, right now I think the revolution's got a pretty solid chance of winning. Revolution power at 4, +2 for the bourgeoisie, while the crown is 1, +1 for the church and 2 for the military, so I think that's 6-4, but I'd still like to move things a little bit more. Y'all filthy? Yep. Yep, we are. We are gross. Alright. The painter, Elizabeth, needs to see you at her personal studio so that she can finish the nude portrait that she's been painting of you. She says there are some final touches that she needs to perform. Oh, really? Final touches, huh? That was creepy. I'm pretty sure that was creepy, wasn't it? I feel like I should apologize for that one. For that face. I feel like that is a face that I should apologize for. Hi, Lullifs. I have no idea what that is. Genuinely have no idea what that is supposed to be. Like, what did you just draw? Supposed to say sus? Oh. Yeah, I mean, it depends, I think, on, like, yeah, I mean, that kind of thing can be tough to do in comments just because it's, you never know how the person is going to be reading it. So yeah, the formatting got screwed up on both places where I'm like seeing it. It takes a little longer than before to get to Elizabeth's studio today. There's no special event. The streets are simply crowded with throngs of people going about their daily business. You resist the urge to scream and shove them out of your way, but just barely. Still, you manage to arrive at the painting studio without incident or injury. Keeping Elizabeth's previous request for discretion in mind, you let yourself into her studio. A cool breeze sweeps through the open windows, rustling the cloth that covers the painting in progress. Mm-hmm. Ah, it's great to see you, Elizabeth says as she strides into the room, already dressed to paint. Shall we get started? I'm just itching to work. Gain a little favor. With what has become a practiced ease, you disrobe and take your position on the satin couch. Elizabeth takes the cover off of your portrait and starts preparing her paints. At this stage, she's focusing on specific details of your portrait. Hey, J-Dot. Occasionally, she asks for you to minutely shift parts of your body this way and that. I wasn't sure you'd even agree to pose for me. Nudes tend to make clients nervous. Don't worry, I would have suggested a nude even if you didn't. Elizabeth puts down her brush for a moment and laughs into the back of her hand. Oh, really? Is that so? God, I love this. I love this weird ass face she makes. Now, I need you to stop being so funny for a moment. I can't be giggling during some of these more precise details, the artist says with a mock sternness. COVID shot and flu shot yesterday? Oh, you are probably really knocked out then, aren't you? I assume you're really out of it then, J. Dot. Do you even know where you are? Both shots? Elizabeth returns to her painting, still glancing up at you at regular intervals before squinting down at some particular detail. Another hour passes, and you take a break to stand up and stretch. Even with your relaxed pose on the couch, all of that time spent staying exactly still starts to wear on you. You return back to your position, and Elizabeth to her art. Later, you find yourself shifting on the couch again. This has been quite a long session. Wait. You silently roll your shoulders and resettle into your pose. You're not positioned to look at Elizabeth directly, but out of the corner of your eye, you can see her leaning away from the canvas to examine you. You squint as you notice that her brush hand hasn't moved in an awfully long time. I mean, she wants to ogle me. Wait some more. Finally, Elizabeth stands up from her easel with a laugh. I'm sorry, but I've been done over half an hour ago. She favors you with a sly grin. I just enjoy looking at you like this. Putting down her paints and removing her apron, she walks over to you. You must be very cold. I could use a little body heat. Her finger traces down the outside of your thigh. How do you like to warm up? Just shut up and kiss me already. Well, the client is always right, she replies with a smirk. With the rustling sound of skirts, Elizabeth kneels on the couch and places a hand on the armrest behind you. Gently, she leans forward over you. You crane your neck until your lips meet. You have to admit, she is very warm. Music to have an illicit lesbian affair to. This is music to have a classy but illicit lesbian affair to. Large amount of favor with Elizabeth. But you probably already knew that, didn't you? Sometime later, after taking the time to fix your hair and slip back into your foundation garments, you're taking tea and pastries with Elizabeth. They taste amazing, but that might just be because you're famished. Where is My Mind by the Pixies? Oh, I almost forgot, Elizabeth giggles. I should probably show you the painting that you've been sitting for all of this time. With a burst of fresh energy, she gets up and walks over to her easel. She turns around the canvas and you see yourself. Well, not just yourself. It's Elizabeth's version of you, and while she isn't in the portrait itself, you can see so much of her personality in the painting. You look relaxed and confident, but adorned with an enigmatic smile, and eyes that seem to be looking somewhere else. It's obvious that a tremendous amount of work has gone into this painting. If you squint closely, you can see places where the oil paints have been layered and layered, the results of endless attempts to get some tiny detail just right. It's a labor of love, and it shows. Elizabeth takes a deep breath, and her next words are almost a sigh of relief. I'm really proud of this one. I can't wait to get it framed and hung up in my collection. The two of you lounge and chat about the painting for some time. You pace about the studio while you talk, relishing the chance to stretch your limbs after all this time. Hey, Linz. You just missed the hot lesbian sex. Eventually, it gets late enough that the two of you have to say your goodbyes. Elizabeth helps you back into your dress. Outside, you walk home. Compared to the nightmarish hustle and bustle of before, the streets feel almost abandoned. You stroll alone, completely lost in your own thoughts. You arrive home, still unsure of how you feel. Yeah, sorry, Limbs. It was super hot and sexy. That was lovely. Nobody's made me feel the way Elizabeth does. Feeling buoyed by the heady thrills of love, you ascend to your bedroom on light feet and prepare yourself for bed. In the morning, you awake to find a letter already on your bedside table, sealed in plain, uncolored wax. The wax seal hasn't been stamped with a sigil of any sort. You recognize this peculiarly... That is a hard word to say. You recognize this peculiarly nondescript method of correspondence. When you open the letter and see the handwriting, your suspicions are confirmed immediately. This message is from Armand. Chère Yvette, I'll write you now to explain that the situation has become extremely grave. Our Habsburgian society was founded with the intent of achieving a great social change over the course of many years. These latest violent upheavals have shown us that our time is dwindling faster than we ever could have imagined. Simply put, our mission cannot be accomplished. I know Johanna won't like it, but I need to try to push for something that's more achievable in our dwindling hours. I'll have to do this behind her back, but I accept the consequences for that. This may be her society, but its mission belongs to us all. To be honest, Johanna worries me right now. She's growing more distant and agitated by the day. I know our circumstances are taxing, but something just doesn't feel right about her. Please stay safe. Love, Armand. You put down the letter and wonder about Armand's plans. May you stay safe as well, mon cher. While you contemplate what you'll do with the rest of your day, you keep wondering what exactly Armand has in mind. Oh, hey, party day. Alright, time for a fancy party. Let's go to a fancy party, everybody. Bourgeoisie party. Alright. I haven't worn this very often, so yeah. No sense assessing preparations. The classic sushi hat. A servant checks your invitation and everything seems to be in order. I feel like I should try to find a hat like this. Try to order something like this. I feel like it'd be hilarious if I was able to get a hat like this to wear like for the very last of the streams of this game. You know, just like the very end of my Ambition live stream, and I just come on wearing this. And people would laugh and laugh. Oh, what a joyous time it would be. I'm so fucking weird. I'm so fucking weird sometimes. Nod to her and enter the party. Hat or prop? Hey, troll police. The thing is, I don't know where I'd order something like that. Like, I don't even know what to search for. Like, I don't even know what to search for something like that. I feel like sushi hat... Yeah, that's not... French hat that looks like sushi. No. Pillowcase or something? Alright. If someone can find what that style of hat is actually called. If someone can find what that style of hat is actually called, or find like a link to order a hat that looks like that, I will do it. I don't really feel like putting in the effort to find what that style of hat is called. So if anyone can find the name of that style or a link to something that looks like that, then I will order it. Maybe. Anyway, she curtsies to you as you pass her by and enter the party. Let the games begin! This is a bourgeoisie party, right? Gregarious woman seems to have exactly the sort of rumors you're looking for, but first you'll have to stave off the blundering boast of a young sugar magnate. You notice a woman approaching you, and you sense some sort of amorous intent from her, but something about the whole situation feels off. Something scandalous, to be sure, but you're not certain if you want to be so close to it. No male interaction with a lord bourgeoisie man at a party. Only cheap gossip, but, I mean, if she wants to flirt, I'm down to flirt. Yep. I'm already hooking up with 2 people. I'm fine, mate. I'm fine going for the hat trick. Let's see. I'm looking now, right? I'm looking on. I'm looking on the Wikipedia article right now. Not really seeing anything on the Wikipedia article either that matches. Nah, nothing there. I found something. No, not that. Yeah. I don't think they really... I don't know, maybe I could, make Brick make you a hat? Sushi slippers. I could try. I don't know. Maybe I'll try looking it up a little bit more later. I do have one other idea for somewhere I could look. I do have one other idea for somewhere I can look. So, maybe later tonight. Once the stream is over. Anyway, I'm gonna let a lady flirt with me. You find yourself in a relatively secluded room, stealthily surveying the area to see if there's anyone particularly important that you should be introducing yourself to. Introducing yourself is, of course, a mild breach of decorum. However, you have neither the time nor the patience for such things when there's work to be done. Your ears perk up at the sounds of someone whispering behind you. While you can't make out the words themselves, it almost sounded like a frantic argument, one with a sudden resolution. A woman suddenly approaches you, appearing at the corner of your vision. Bonsoir, Madame Daco. I am sorry to approach you so suddenly, but I was wondering something. By I of course mean to say we, she adds quite hurriedly. Of course? How does any of this strange rambling even resembling something that ends with of course? How have you two come to a decision? A man asks impatiently, also entering the conversation from outside of your field of vision. I was just getting to that, she hisses at her partner. I don't know what you two are plotting, but you have my attention. Well, you see, my husband and I are a lively but discreet married couple, and you're an interesting woman. And very attractive, her husband interjects over her. Oh my god! We were watching you from across the room and we like your vibe? That's what's going on? They want me for a threesome. I mean, would. Absolutely. This guy, I mean, he's not bad looking, but he seems douchey. You know, this guy just seems like a douche. You stay out of it and watch. You get to watch. I'll show your wife the kind of pleasure you've never given her, and you just sit back and watch. How's that? How's that work for you, dude? Because I'll be honest, I don't believe that this guy is capable of giving a woman pleasure. Just something about him. There's just something about him that makes me think that he's a shit lover. Thinks he's the bomb, thinks he's the best, but that he's actually just like incredibly boring and shitty in bed. I don't know why you had to bring that up right this second, she replies irately, and the two of them pause to bicker amongst each other in whispers for a minute or two, while you sip your wine in silence. Also, I like, she's the bait, he's the switch. I kind of like that. That's amusing. Where was I? You see, we have been looking for a woman like yourself to join us. It takes a moment for you to put their insinuations together. Not because you've never heard of a menage a trois. It's just that you didn't think that you'd be approached about one by a pair of desperate strangers. In a way, the proposal is almost adorable. Most well-to-do couples that grow this tired of each other usually just skip straight to silent, furious adultery. Still, you don't know why you'd want to act as a stand-in just to rekindle their flagging desire. What exactly am I going to get out of this? I mean, I assume get this face between our legs, right? What I'm getting is this pretty face right between our legs. What exactly would you want? Oh, fantastic. I'll go find our coachman. We'll retreat to our home and... What? You want to leave right now? We haven't even graded the host yet, or determined what she... Ugh! You're doing this again! I'm doing what? Please, pray tell, what am I doing? An argument between the two of them flares up almost instantly, and they hastily excuse themselves for a moment. You sigh as they disappear into another room. If nothing else, this particular type of scandalous foolishness makes for great gossip. Don't get my threesome. I don't get that pretty face buried between my legs. Cheap bourgeoisie gossip. Before you walk away, you catch the glint of something shiny on the floor. Did one of them drop their coin purse? Hey! 24 livres. You swiftly tuck the money into your pockets. You consider feeling guilty, but the recent memory of their presumption removes such thoughts from your mind. Left to your own devices once more, you stop to wonder how these sorts of things keep happening to you. Any chance I could look for them later? I never said no! Right? I never said no! I just said, convince me. All I wanted was to be convinced. Hey, Scrape. A pair of women seem to have quite a bit to say to each other, but aren't doing so. Whatever dangerous rumors they've gotten a hold of, they can't bring themselves to speak it in public. If one were to get one of them alone, however. A physician, eager to court a particular young lady, is hoping that you'll be able to help him make a good first impression. It might be possible to turn this request into valuable information. Someone is absolutely bursting at the seams with a desire to discuss something concerning the host, but only with those who know the host well. You might not, but when has such a triviality ever stopped you? I'm gonna help the dude. I'm gonna help the dude hit on the lady. I'm always up for helping the course of true love. Or even just a little bit of... A man, clearly nervous, approaches you. Pardon, Madame Decaux. You don't know me, but I've come to you to request a favor. I don't know exactly what I could provide in return, but I am a successful physician. I attended this party with the express intent of introducing myself to one particular woman, but I still haven't managed to do so, and it appears that she's planning to leave at any minute. Is there any way you could help provide some sort of introduction? But before you ask, yes, I've already realized how strange it is to approach one unfamiliar woman, because I'm too nervous to approach a different one. It's merely that, well, I don't know. I suppose that fear has always been divorced from reason. If a stranger is asking you for this kind of help, it really must mean that you become well established in Paris. So at least there's that. It also seems like he could help you obtain some gossip about the bourgeoisie. Kind of a shame that you can't just agree, you know? Like, I'll be honest, if there was an option to just be like, you know what? Fuck it, yeah. Before I make this introduction, I need to ask you a few questions about your business. About my business? What of it? He asks. Ooh. What am I saying? Of course I can do that. I only ask that you make haste. It looks like she's going to leave the party at any minute. His enthusiasm makes it easy to guide the conversation around. While he can't tell you the exact identities of his clients, it becomes easy to use this information to fill in the gaps in the scraps of a rumor that you heard a few days ago. Outrageous bourgeoisie gossip. A piece of outrageous gossip. Mm-hmm. The moment you've memorized the rumor, you take him by the elbow and glide over to the object of his affections. You do your best to make his introduction as appealing as possible. The opening of their conversation is inept, but earnest. With your end of the bargain upheld, you take your leave of them both. Aw, yeah. Helping with a little bit of the... Oh, snap! My girl! My girl Honorad. A gentleman is currently in the process of smothering one Madame Gazelle with advice, while she would clearly rather be anywhere else. Perhaps you could help. Finally, I've been waiting another chance to meet with her. That looked like weirdly starting a car. What are we helping them with? We're helping with a little bit of... We're helping him to drown the slippery otter, harpoon the salty longshoreman, verb the adjective noun. That's the... I just love that. I love that it goes to verb the adjective noun. Drown the slippery otter, harpoon the salty longshoreman, verb the adjective noun. It's one of my favorite Clone High quotes, honestly. And there's a lot of good quotes on that show. That show has so many good quotes, and that is still one of my absolute favorites. Harpoon the salty longshoreman is the part that I always forget. I always forget that one, but drown the slippery otter and verb the adjective noun have stuck with me for 20 years. 20 years I haven't forgotten that quote. I haven't forgotten that part. Anyway, strolling through the party, you manage to spot Madame Gazelle from across the room. She's with a man who seems very excited to speak with her. Upon closer inspection, he is the only one excited about this conversation. She looks absolutely apathetic. Seeing an opportunity, you decide to approach them.
Though some might consider it a simple industry, there's a lot more complexity to wallpaper importing than one would imagine,
he says before favoring Honorat with a sly wink.
And where there's misunderstanding, there's profit.
Oh, wow, Madame Gazelle replies. That's absolutely fascinating. I'd never considered that before. She is lying. However, I'd hate to take up your time too much with all this talk about business. This is a social event after all, and I'm sure you have a lot to attend to. He grins even wider and replies,
Oh, don't worry yourself, Madame Gazelle. My schedule is entirely open.
Hey, Trailer. The subtlety of her anger. What am I doing today? Yeah, I'm okay. You know, like, everybody else has these exaggerated expressions, and she's just subtle.
In fact,
Oh, is that you? Madame Gazelle walks over and leads you into the conversation by the hand. I've never been so glad to see you before. Have you met Monsieur Havard? Easy credibility challenge. I'm sorry to interrupt, Madame Gazelle, but don't we have an appointment to keep? The banker looks puzzled by this new development. Yes, Madame Gazelle suddenly replies. How could I have been so forgetful? Yvette and I have some business we need to attend to. My apologies, monsieur. We must go. With that, she puts a hand on your waist and leads you both away from the banker before he can formulate a proper objection. Mon Dieu, you are a lifesaver, she whispers to you. If I had to tolerate that any longer, I would have gouged my own eyes out. Yay! Favor! The worst of all this is that I actually do need advice on what I should be doing with Charles' fortune. I never took enough interest in the specifics of his work, and now I'm philandering. There's been enough business talk. I'd rather discuss me and you. Oh, I couldn't possibly agree more, she says in a low voice, leaning close enough to you that you can smell her perfume. It smells like violets. Make sense? Hey. In fact, she says before giving a silent signal, her servant Renee appears. He hands you a bone-colored business card. There is no name printed on it, merely an address. You should write me a letter. I would love to see you in a place where none of these people are able to interrupt us. That is, if you're amenable to such company. Yay! Finally I can do a rendezvous with my girl. My lady. I can do a rendezvous with my lady. Without another word, she leaves. The scent of her perfume still hangs in the air. Floral, yet bitter. As if on cue, your spy mistress, Therese, emerges from the shadows.
Huh.
That invitation you received could not possibly be any clearer. If you want to learn more about this woman, you should go on a rendezvous with her. Of course, it might take more than one to earn her confidence. After all, she's a notoriously private person. Nevertheless, you've managed to catch her eye. Therese returns to the shadows, and you return to the party, taking the time to occasionally glance over your shoulder. Maybe it's just your imagination, but you feel watched. Monsieur von Mayendorf, who you've spoken with earlier, appears to be having quite the disagreement with one of his suppliers. It's considered rather gauche to air such grievances in public, so this must be serious indeed. Meh. Wager, meh. Alright. The new aristocracy, Madame Gazelle is considering the position of the bourgeoisie and how it relates to the crown and the revolution. This feels like a prime opportunity to exert some influence upon her decisions. I want to make sure that I don't lose favor with her. Due to the flow of the party and the vagaries of guests wandering to and fro, you find yourself having a conversation alone with Madame Gazelle. Not that either of you mind, of course.
Huh.
What irritates me so is that for all their complaints about the aristocracy, there are more than enough powerful members of the bourgeoisie who clearly just want to become the new nobility. They play a revolutionary talk about and preach about fairness, but they're not really opposed to the order of the ancien regime, merely who's running it. As if titles with money were more virtuous than ones bought with blood. As if titles bought with money were more virtuous than ones bought with blood. She sighs and takes a sip of her water. Now, I must admit that most aristocrats I've spoken to are tiresome boors that get some kind of carnal thrill from reminding you of their privileged situation. I've met some wonderful counterexamples, but it feels like a case of exceptions that prove the rule. Regardless, I'm not even certain who I should be making entreaties to. Although Paris is picking sides, and it would be nice to reach out to someone we already have a good relationship with. Whoever she reaches out to will surely gain from her support, but she might react poorly to suggesting someone that has a poor relationship with the bourgeoisie at the moment. Therese, you're an expert in these things. What do you think? At the sound of your summons, Therese steps out from her position nearby and opens her small black book, looking through her notes. Of course, madame. The revolution and the bourgeoisie as a whole are aligned for the moment, she says, pausing to squint through her glasses at her own writing. Which makes sense. They're both groups of commoners. A fine assessment, Madame Gazelle says with a nod of satisfaction. Oh, Yvette, you always employ the finest people. Yay, gain favor. Without another word, Therese snaps her black book shut and falls into place behind you. Given the direction everything is heading, I should start positioning myself sooner rather than later. Some of my peers being insufferable isn't the reason I make a poor political decision. Bourgeoisie move towards the revolution. You chat with Honorada a touch longer, until she excuses herself to begin one of the very meetings she mentioned. And so, another piece moves on the grand chessboard of Paris. The only question is anyone moving you around on the board? Not a huge amount of gossip earned, but... got a little bit of gossip, so let's visit Le Trompette de Peuple. Representative got free room and board. Free room staying. Bourgeoisie is already pretty close to the revolution, so... Actually, before I do that, let's sell this first. Wealthy financier thinks the revolutionaries need to focus their efforts on drafting a constitution. Is he a pragmatic friend of the revolution? Or a dismissive boor? I mean, no sense swaying the allegiance of the revolution, so... That's all. That pays for an entire week's salary for my staff. And these things will get me a little bit closer to a new dress, if I need it. You bought... Oh. Dang. Gained some peril. Lost some credibility. Time for... a rendezvous. I feel like it doesn't really matter what I wear here. I feel like it shouldn't really matter what I wear here for a rendezvous. Going to a garden, so... I mean... Yeah, just dress cute. This is a cute outfit. Yep, this is a cute outfit, right? Am I wrong? This is a really cute outfit. Yeah, compared to the rest, yeah, actually, this one's kind of cute, too. I actually kind of like this one, too. But, like, compared to, like, all these robes... You know, this one's This one's very plain and simple, but I like this thing, the little cloak, the little, what would that be called? Not really a cloak. It's the hair too. True, it's a very cute hair, it's a very pretty hairstyle. This one actually, I've come to think of it, this one actually feels more appropriate for a walk in the gardens though. I will say this actually feels like it might work better for a walk in the gardens. This is a very garden look. Go yellow. I think I will go with this one. The robe en chemise. This just looks like something you would wear to a garden thing, to a walk in a garden. After spending the first half of the day getting ready, you head out for your rendezvous. Unfortunately, you can feel the exhaustion set in as soon as you step out the door. Tonight is going to be a long night. Oh, boo. You return to the peaceful and well-manicured greenery of the Jardin des Plantes. Couples strolling the paths cheer both furtive glances and nods of respect as they put forth their best efforts to see and be seen. A few minutes later, Elizabeth arrives. After taking a moment to carefully look around, she approaches you. Kind of a cute bit of music. Yeah, this is nice music. You look absolutely stunning, she gushes as she looks you over, and you notice her empty hand idly sketching you in the air. Staggering amount of favor with Elizabeth. Looking away from you, she surveys your location. Elizabeth looks around as Jardin des Plantes and smiles. Yvette, this is absolutely lovely. I could use a little relaxation. The two of you stroll together, walking as close as the laws of society will allow, without suspicion. Occasionally, you stop to furtively point and giggle together at particular couples. Some of them are just silly and foolish, but others will make for great inspiration for her work later. A few hours later, you realize that it's starting to get late, and the two of you depart together. After your day together, Elizabeth decides to walk you home. You sense that she feels much more comfortable with you now. More favor, you can sense a tension in the air, and it feels like she has something on her mind. The artist glances at you for a moment. Did I ever tell you what it was like to paint the Queen? I know she loved your work. Is that why she pushed for your membership to l'Académie? Oui, l'Académie Royale de Peinture et de Sculpture, the most important art institution in France. I spent years trying to get in, but could never quite make it. Elizabeth sighs. They didn't like me. My husband, Jean, is an art dealer, and said it was a conflict of interest. What was I supposed to do, divorce him? But Marie loved my work. I asked her for a favor, she asked the king. Suddenly, I was a member, she says with a confused shrug. She pauses for a moment, as if she's not sure if she should continue. It's all right if you don't want to talk about it. She gives you a weak smile that's trying to be strong. Thanks, Yvette, but I should say the whole thing. I think this is good for me. I'll remember the 1783 salon for the rest of my life. I made 2 paintings. Peace Bringing Back Abundance was there to show I could do more than portraits, but my real focus was
Marie en chemise. I poured my heart into that painting. It is relaxed, calm, and kind. It was the Marie I knew. It was the Marie I wanted to show the world. They hated it. I was surrounded by all these men, these master artists, whose work I admired. I had to listen to them tear it to pieces. That my portrait was scandalous, that it was insulting, that it was unbecoming of the Queen. I heard it over and over again. The Queen made a mistake. Her eyes glisten, wet. They took it down on the first day of the show. I thought my career was over. A duo of tears rolled down her cheeks. But it wasn't. My infamy only brought me more clients, and the common people loved it. Marie was more damaged by the scandal than I was. A few years later, I painted another painting of her, something with her children. I made what the Academy wanted to see. More austere, more appropriate, something befitting the mother of the king's children. Since then, Marie and I have lost touch. I feel like I betrayed her.
Choices for characterization purposes. It will not impact your path or stats. Honestly, all three of these choices are kind of tempting. Perhaps you should look elsewhere. Have you considered talking to the nationalists? Elizabeth stares at you in silence. That might work, she says hesitantly. The revolutionaries would appreciate my more relaxed and natural aesthetic. In fact, many of them have already rejected the Academy's views on art, so I wouldn't have to try pleasing people that already hate me. Actually, that's a great idea, Yvette. I'm going to reach out to some of them soon. Hey, I might have just saved her life. I very well may have just saved her life. If the revolutionaries like her, they're not going to execute her for her proximity to the Queen. And I also screwed over. I also hurt the Crown's power and helped the revolution. So yeah, that worked out. That choice worked out well. Just because I'm painting portraits of some political opponents doesn't mean Marie and I can't be friends. Yeah, it does. You arrive at home and Camille greets you both with her usual cheer. Bonsoir, mesdames! Oh, who is this Delatevette? Elizabeth asks with a giggle. Just a maid of our works, madame. Can I get either of you anything? I'm a Jesus-like vicar. You two seem to be getting along quite well. Should I be worried? Your question draws only silence, followed by raucous laughter. Yvette, I didn't take you for the jealous type, Elizabeth replies with a wink. You're not certain, but you're pretty sure that you saw Camille blush for a moment when she said that. After a few minutes of the three of you trading jokes and raised eyebrows, it all winds down enough for you to excuse yourself. With your goodbyes said, you head upstairs and prepare yourself for bed. Why didn't I invite her in? For a nightcap. As you're getting ready for bed, Therese slinks into your room. Madame, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that I think something unfortunate might happen to this Madame Lebrun you're courting. Too many rumors swirling about her. Too much scandal. If you want to continue your dalliance with her, I would advise that you keep an eye out for her at any crown parties you might get invited to.
It seems likely that she's going to need your help.
Having said her piece, she snaps her black book shut and leaves you to the rest of your night. Sleep comes easily, despite the strange words from your spy mistress. Count Bernard Foix. Feast of St. Michael. Church party. Yeah. No. Le Grand Danseur de Roi. The premier theatre in Paris, Le Grand Danseur de Roi is a rendezvous location known for its comedies, which tend to be coarse and proletarian, but always lively and never boring. May as well visit it just to get a look. Today you decide to explore the Boulevard du Temple. It's the place in the city best known for its theaters. Strolling down the wide tree-lined street, you finally find what you're looking for. Le Grand Danseur de Roi. It's the best known theater in the city, specializing in two things: comedies and skirting the absolute limits of good taste. Out of sheer curiosity, you step inside. There isn't a production going on at the moment, but you see actors and carpenters rushing around to ready the theater for next show tonight. The frantic energy is only amplified by the sight of a hapless young man trying to corral a dancing monkey back into its cage. The monkey doesn't seem interested in cooperating. Monkey? When you finally tire of watching the monkey shriek at its handler and pelt them with scraps of fruit, you take out your pencil and journal to jot down the address of the theater. With the address noted down, you hurry home before the crowds start forming outside. You wonder if they'll ever figure out how to control that monkey. Probably not. This feels like the perfect place to visit with someone that loves to laugh. Someone that isn't afraid of liking things that are a little bawdy or lowbrow. This is absolutely delightful. I can't wait to see it in full swing. With the address noted down, you start the walk home, already eager to see one of their shows. Maybe they'll have figured out how to control the monkey by then. Part of you hopes not. Countess Carmen Gonteau. Salon. For some revolution gossip. Man, I still can't meet with my lady. Alright, what parties do I have coming up? What's next party? Bourgeoisie, followed by crown. How are my outfits doing? This one's still got some life left in it. And how about the revolution? This one's still got some left. Yeah, alright, so I'm fine for revolution parties. Could use something that'll go over well with the crown, though. So, alright. Le Petit Mogul. Shop run by Fatima Shenna. Oh yeah, I can sell shit too. $5. will go over well with the crown, but it's a bit much. Yeah, this one will go over well with the crown, and it's not too expensive. So, man, I do like this outfit. This is another cute one. Too bad it's so expensive. The day has opened with staggering news. The king has just dismissed Monsieur Jacques Necker, who was both the Prime Minister and the Controller General of Finances. Monsieur Necker's reputation as a friend of the people was so great that he was welcomed into office with a fireworks display. While it's understood that he was always a controversial figure, his competence has never been in question. He argued for the abolition of serfdom, and once broke a policy stalemate by leaking the national budget to the press in order to show the people how dire the country's situation really was. However, this public favor wasn't enough to save him. The king dismissed him from office, and the new Controller General of Finances is Monsieur Joseph-Francois Foulon. Dismissing Necker was already guaranteed to be unpopular, but replacing him with a conservative deeply loyal to the interests of the nobility would have been bad enough. Oh, and replacing him. But Monsieur Foulon isn't just disliked, he is despised. During the last famine, when asked of the plight of the common people, Monsieur Foulon replied, "If those rascals have no bread, then let them eat hay." The common people have not forgotten this. The great tension that hangs over the country continues to build. Even alone in your home, you can feel it in the air, heavy and thick, like the smoke from a burning building. And so, in Paris, life goes on. Yes, finally!
Cher Yvette, it would please me if you joined me on July 14th for a day spent at the La Grande Taverne de Londres. Bien affectueusement.
Finally got my rendezvous. Oh shit, this is going to be a tiring week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight days of events. Viscount Claude Albon requests the attendance of Yvette de Côte to their founding feast on July 15th. Man, this is going to be bad. Really should have declined at least one of those parties, frankly. I'm not gonna be able to sell any of the gossip I make at the first couple parties.
Huh. Uh-huh.
Viscount Jean-Pierre Ganteau. Commemoration. Yeah, honestly, these first two parties, I'm not gonna be able to sell any of the gossip. I mean, it'll be Saturday before I can sell any of the gossip. So any gossip I make at these first two parties will be stale by the time the weekend comes around. By the time I get to sell it. Even this one, gossip will be stale. Should have just skipped this party. This is a bourgeoisie party. Right, this one still has life in it. Blah, blah, blah. Bring down my peril just a little bit. Yay, I'm out again. Alright, let's talk to Honorat again. Madame Gazelle is speaking to some woman named Johanna. Something about seeing these two together is putting you on edge. As always, I don't want to risk losing favor with Honorat. You see Madame Gazelle at the party and decide to approach her, but you notice that she's not alone. There's another woman with her. Madame Gazelle perks up when she sees you approaching. Bonsoir, Yvette. Have you met Johanna Desjardins? What have you two been discussing?
Huh.
Well, Johanna here has been telling me a great deal about the latest goings-on in Vienna. The way she describes it sounds like a paradise. I just visited there as part of some family business there last year, Johanna explains. In only a few weeks, I had the impression that it was a better environment, especially for businesses like the ones being represented here. Johanna seems thankful for you getting the conversation back on track. Hey, credibility up, nice. So as I was saying before, continues Johanna as she flags down a servant and requests 3 glasses of wine. Oh, we only need 2 of those, says Honorat quietly, but the servant doesn't seem to notice her. Instead, he generously fills 3 glasses and sets them down on a table in front of you.
Ah.
What I saw in Austria when I was there was fascinating. The Holy Roman Emperor has enacted reforms focused on social progress and stability. I'm sure you already know that stability is a necessary part of any growing economy. Johanna doesn't seem to notice, but Honorat isn't paying attention. She's just staring at the wine in front of her, clutching tightly to the glass of water in her hand.
Huh.
What's wrong? Do you not like this particular vintage? No, it's just that Madame Gazelle replies distantly, swallowing hard. I know, let's have a toast. Johanna takes the glass and holds it aloft. How about to cooperation and prosperity? You see Madame Gazelle, and she's reaching for a glass, but her hand is shaking. Ooh. So, presumably alcoholism. Let's hold off on that toast. I'd rather hear more specifics on what you saw in Vienna. What? Of course, we can avoid the pleasantries if you'd just like to focus on the fine details. Honorat looks visibly relieved, and moves her wine glass to a faraway table when Johanna isn't looking. Johanna proceeds to recite an absolutely dizzying list of the exciting and inspiring news coming out of Vienna. It's easy to get caught up in her enthusiasm, and by the end of it, you're practically ready to swear fealty to the Holy Roman Emperor yourself. Abruptly, she pulls a pocket watch from her bodice and clucks her tongue. I'm sorry, ladies, but you must excuse me. I have an appointment that I must keep. With that, Johanna departs for a different section of the party. After a long pause, Madame Gazelle says, Thank you, Yvette. I really appreciate your help. Don't think about it. It was nothing. Well, it was something to me, she replies, standing put off. Well, I am not losing that bit of favor over that line. I refuse to lose...
Huh.
I refuse to lose favor over a silly little line like that. What happened there? Are you alright?
Huh.
When people ask, I usually tell them that I just don't like alcohol. She lowers her voice. However, the truth is that I like it too much. When my husband died, I don't remember the month after his funeral. One evening I woke up in the garden, passed out on a flower bed, and realized I had no idea what day it was. That's when I decided I needed to stop. It's not been easy.
Huh.
So thank you. And please keep that knowledge between us. Ugh, listen to me, she laughs and rolls her eyes. I'm supposed to be the one who's powerful, cool, and in command. You can be all those things, and still be human. Thank you. I think I needed to hear that. You and Madame Gazelle chat together for a little while longer before parting ways. While the worst has been avoided, she still looks exhausted by the thought of what could have been. You look around the party, checking to see if there's anything else you can do before the end of the evening. Yeah, sure, why not? Actually, anything that would reduce my peril? Seems not. This one might, but... Someone is absolutely bursting at the seams with a desire to discuss something concerning the host, but only with those who know the host well. You might not, but when has such triviality ever stopped you? Screw it, why not? While taking a turn through the party, you find yourself talking with a woman about the host. You don't know the host particularly well, but she seems decently acquainted with them.
Uh-huh.
By the way, have you heard about our hosts? She trails off, but looks clearly excited. I guess the question I should be asking is, how well do you know them? I already know the issue you're thinking of. Of course, I'd love to hear your perspective.
Huh.
Oh, you've already heard then? She asks while you try to maintain a straight face. Magnifique! I've been dying to discuss this all day. Simply scandalous, is it not? Now that her defenses are down, you manage to continue the conversation, using context cues to pull the details of the story from her. These details are of some interest indeed. Cheap bourgeoisie gossip. With the information extracted, you manage to find a way to gracefully exit the conversation. You're not sure why, but you're reasonably certain that you heard her give a sigh of relief as you walk away. Perhaps there's something else you can do while you're here. Let's see if I can win something. For once, games of chance might be illegal, but that doesn't mean they aren't widely enjoyed. After all, if the chance to win or lose great fortunes wasn't dangerously thrilling, they'd never need to make a law prohibiting it. I refuse to lose my money. Hearing an outburst of cheers, you wander into a small room to see what the fuss is all about. Inside, you find a group of men clustered around a table with a roulette wheel set up on it. Their faces are a mixture of fear, disappointment, and triumph, but they're all obviously excited. After the latest spin, some grumbling is heard and some coin is exchanged. Looking up, a man approaches you. Care to make a wager, madame? Risk a little coin, gain a little excitement. Sounds fun. Ah, you are a woman after my own heart, he laughs, ushering you through the crowd to see the table itself. Some of the other gamblers laugh with him and shout words of encouragement to you. So, how much would you like to wager? Let's make this exciting, shall we? 50 livres. His eyes twinkle like diamonds as he takes your money. A bold choice, madame. Now, would you like to bet on red or black? You know what? Honorad wears black. I'll bet on black. He places your coins on the outside betting track for black, and the dealer releases the ball into the spinning wheel. The ball spins frantically in the wheel. The gamblers go quiet, all watching the ball with such intensity, as if there was nothing else in the world. Let it ride. The roulette ball, the ball starts to slow down, leaving the rim and drifting towards one of the pockets. Everyone around the roulette goes as still as a statue. That can literally, actually, well, let's see. Roulette. First form of roulette was devised in 18th century France. So yes, roulette is actually that old. Makes sense. I assume that the developers did their research. So yeah. Roulette is like 300 years old. We're at the origin. Actually, like it had already been around for a little while, even at this point. Yeah, it was already around for a few decades by this point, so. The ball lands in a black pocket, and the gamblers erupt into a bevy of cheers and groans. The man excitedly pushes your winnings into your hands. Congratulations, madame! It seems you have that beginner's luck. Yay! Not wanting to risk your newfound gains, you favor the gamblers with a curtsy and depart to the rest of the party, with a few cheers at your back. Yep, I walked out of there with more money than I walked in. Woo! And that's what reduces my peril a little bit. Only 2 days ago, Prime Minister Necker was suddenly dismissed by the king. It was a decision that did not sit well with most. Today, the members of the National Assembly publicly called for the creation of a bourgeois militia. They want their own army. If that wasn't disturbing enough, it's well known at this point that this militia will have no shortage of volunteers. While there aren't many fears of large-scale desertion within the military, there are still thousands of angry commoners, and it's quite easy to throw up a barricade in the streets and start trouble. Then again, a mob of angry people doesn't make an army. While Paris contains more than enough sickles, kitchen knives, and hammers, any uprising would need rifles, and even cannons to succeed. Those tend to be in short supply. This militia could overwhelm and rob the occasional group of watchmen, or even a small military checkpoint. But the only large concentration of weaponry that you can think of in Paris is the Bastille. The imposing castle used to be a major prison, but now it's mostly an armory that happens to hold a few especially odious criminals in its spare cells. Of course, that would be utterly insane. Nobody would try to storm a castle in the middle of Paris. Such an act would plunge the city into the kind of chaos that one could never turn back from. The situation is dire, but surely everyone will be more reasonable than that. Right? And so, in Paris, life goes on. Indeed, we are fast approaching the revolution. What was the exact date that the revolution started? Storming of the Bastille was July 14th. Um, Alright, so I'm not sure when this particular game ends. And I don't think it actually says. Oh. That's funny. I didn't realize that you could send. I didn't realize that you could actually send schedule rendezvous. Whoops. Makes sense. Sometimes I miss Cove. I know, I know. We all miss Cove. Alright, so I think we'll start next time with the party. Actually, we'll start next time with 5 fucking parties. 4 parties in a rendezvous. Gods. Am I able to... No. No, that's not what I would have wanted to do. Sadly, I'm not able to back out of a party. I would absolutely back out of one of these parties if I could. The next Our Life game does launch in 2024. Not sure if I'll play it right away or if I'll wait for some of the DLC to come out first. Hard to say, because I mean, like, the first game came out in 2020, and then the last piece of DLC dropped this year. So it was like, it took, 2.5 years for it to, for all the DLC to drop. Do I really want, do I really want to wait 2 years to play the next Our Life game? Probably not. That feels like it'd be a bit much. But at the same time, I mean, maybe I could. I mean, it depends. We'll see. Like, we'll see how many more games I have. What other visual novels I have to still get through. I do have a few, and I've got others that I want to play. So. Yeah. I do actually have a couple of visual novels that look pretty interesting, honestly. Plus a couple that, I mean, there's a couple that I'll have to decide if I want to play on stream or if I want to record. Like Harmony. Harmony, The Fall of Reverie. Do I play that on stream or do I record it? Could go either way on that one. Anywho's. Yeah. So that is it for tonight. Gonna call it a night. So, next week, a date with Honorad on the same day as the storming of the Bastille, apparently. That's awkward timing. But okay, sure. But for now, yeah. Tomorrow. I mean, probably not tomorrow, Color Purple, let's be honest. My V-neck hoodie. Yeah, I hope my hoodie arrives soon. It gets chilly in this room. Like, Jamie, it gets chilly in here. And I haven't been able to buy a space heater. So, thanks for coming, everybody. And,